Hi, students. This week you guys are doing a issues in biodiversity presentation that you guys make up on your own. You guys will decide your own content and the type of ecosystem that you want to present on. I'm also letting you pick between 4 standards that you want to present on, and I'm expecting you to hit 2 of those standards. I decided to have myself go through this assignment so that you would have an example or like some ideas of what to do for each standard. So I did this one on Borneo because I'm excited to study there this summer when I get to go. So this is the issues in biodiversity presentation that I put together about Borneo. So my first standard being addressed is the one that says using mathematical or computational representations to support explanation of factors that affect carrying capacity of ecosystems at different scales. When you read these standards, they are very heavy and they are confusing at first when you read them. So on the actual assignment, I kind of tried to break it down and gave you ideas of what you could look at. For me in Borneo, it kind of meant if you remove part of the ecosystem, like deforest part of it, then you can't just expect the leftover animals to squeeze into a smaller space, because carrying capacity is like how many animals or plants or whatever an ecosystem can support. And you can't just jam an unlimited number into a single space. There has to be enough room for them to spread out. So I defined carrying capacity as the number of single plant or animal species that an ecosystem can support. So deforestation, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. Deforestation in Borneo is declining by about 1.2% a year. So in 1985, they had 73% of their forest left. And by 2020, they expect only 32% of the rainforest to be left, which is the dark green on here. So not very much. This whole thing was rainforest to begin with. So here's a Borneo example of an animal that's their carrying capacity is being affected. There's a monkey called the proboscis monkey, proboscis meaning nose, and you can see why on this monkey that it's called the proboscis monkey. They're 6 feet tall and they eat unripe fruit. They're pretty cool. If they eat ripe fruit, it sits in their stomach too long and can ferment and cause them to die. They can weigh about 50 pounds and they're actually about 6 feet tall, the size of an adult man, except only 50 pounds. They're great swimmers. They like to belly flop into water. And a lot of times when they do that, they are chased by crocodiles who might eat them. So sort of a weird dare on the proboscis monkeys. So I figured out by looking at different websites that before the rainforest in Borneo started to be destroyed, there's about 19,500 proboscis monkeys in Borneo. Now, at 2000, in the year 2000, there was only 57% of the rainforest left. Their numbers had gone down to about 11,000. In 2017, right now, there's only about 36% of the rainforest left, which is about 7,000 animals. And in 10 years, in 2027, there should be only about 24% of the rainforest left, which can only support about 4,000 proboscis monkeys. So you can see that over time, they're about a fourth. In 10 years, they'll be about a fourth of the number that they used to be. So a huge decline because of space. So the carrying capacity, as we've made the rainforest smaller, the number of proboscis monkeys has gotten less. So there's just a picture of them and a quick little YouTube video of them jumping into the water. Okay, I left my first this PowerPoint in its rough draft form because I do want to point out that I want you to hand in a rough draft the first time. And you can see in this rough draft, it's killing me not to fix it right now, but this wording right here needs to be moved down off of the orangutan's face. So I'll do that for my final, but right now I wanted to show you the rough draft form. Okay, the next standard, if you're thinking about addressing it, is use mathematical representations to support and revise explanations based on evidence about factors affecting biodiversity in populations and ecosystems of different scales. So, how is biodiversity affected at different scales? So, let's define biodiversity. Biodiversity is the variety of life in a certain area. I would have cited that, except that definition came from me. So that would have been a good, if you get your definition from someplace, go ahead and cite that. That's okay. I don't mind. But that one is just, I've been a science teacher forever, and that's my definition now. How does the changing rainforest size affect biodiversity? So as the rainforest changes size, how does that affect things? Well, on average for Borneo, they're finding an average of 3 new species are discovered every month. And here I put a picture of the tarsier, the slow loris, the hornbill bird, and I forget what this one's called. So there's a modification I need to make for the next one. And that statistic I got here, I cited it. So make sure you give little. It doesn't have to be really formal citations through the presentation. That's okay. And then the deforestation, I went back to this slide again to just show, once again, I copied the same slide to show that the deforestation is occurring. And why is that relevant? Because as the size of the rainforest has gone down like this is the line showing the decline of rainforest, very steadily, quickly declining. The point is, and this one, my numbers got cut off of the bottom, so this is something I'll have to fix on my final draft. And I cited this picture because this one's not mine. The previous one, I created this, so I didn't have to cite it. But this one, I did not build this one, so I cited it there. The number of orangutans has gone from over 300,000 to now they are around, I think, around 7,000. Huge decline in Borneo as the rainforests have been taken away. And this is one of the last surviving orangutan populations in the world. There's a few in Sumatra, and that's it. So major endangered species of Borneo are the orangutan, the Sumatran rhino, the pygmy elephant, which I told you is an elephant that's about as tall as a person. They're very small. The babies are about knee high. And the Sumatran elephant. So the estimated number of orangutans left by 2020 is 6,000. And does biodiversity matter? Like, if we lost all of these cool animals and they no longer existed on the planet, does that really matter for us? And some people would say, it doesn't really matter to me because I didn't really get to see it. But the biodiversity should matter to you. And here's just one selfish reason for humans that it should matter for you. Right now, tropical rainforests are America's medicine cabinet. This slide was made by another company, but it was listed somewhere on here, so I didn't cite it. Oh, down at the bottom. Okay. So medicines from the rainforest. 2/3 of all current cancer drugs are coming out of the rainforest. And then there's tons of diseases and disorders that are being treated with rainforest medication. And like leukemia, Hodgkin's disease, multiple sclerosis, birth control pills are coming out of there, glaucoma, anesthetics, so you don't feel pain, malaria drugs, they're all coming from the rainforest. That's just a small summary of how many are coming from the rainforest. There is a litany of other medicines that are coming from the rainforest. So, what other medicines have we not discovered yet? And what are you hoping that they will discover in the future? What meds or problems are you hoping that they'll discover at some point? And what could have a positive effect on the rainforest? Buy sustainable wood products, buy only certified palm oil, download the palm oil app to find out if items you're buying in the store are okay, and ecotourism, spend money where the dollars will go to support wild animals. These are all things you could do to help.